So here we're going to use the substitution rule. Now these questions came from 5.5. So if you need to look up more examples. Okay, and we're going to do two problems, but this video is only going to do problem number 5. But it tells us to use the substitution rule, and that's really helpful to us. Okay, so the tricky part is, well, what are you going to substitute? We know we're going to use U, the letter U, and what do we want it to be? Now, I know what it's going to be. It's going to be this right here in the parentheses. So 1 plus the square root of x. Now, how do I know that? Well, experience helps. I mean, just because I've done some of these. But also, that will put it in a polynomial form. See, it's going to take all of this then and make that just a variable to the second power. And it'll be to the negative 2 because it's in the denominator. But that we can work with. If I do more than that, I'm going to run into trouble when I take the derivative of u because of the chain rule. So, but here this should be okay. All right. So as soon as I know what my u is going to be, I usually do the derivative. So du is equal to, now the derivative of 1 is 0, so I don't have to worry about that. And then remember the square root of x, that's x to the 1/2. So when I take the derivative of that, it's 1/2 times x to the negative 1/2, and then dx. Okay, but what is that? Well, it's 1 over 2 times the square root of x dx. Now, if you're having trouble thinking about that, think about the negative exponent, think about what it means to have an exponent of 1/2. Those things will help you. Now, that's looking really good because, why? Well, we have this right here is similar to this right here. The only thing that's missing is the 2. We've got the dx, but I don't have a 2 in the denominator. So what I really want is I want to put in like a 1/2 here, and then that'll do it for me. Now, I do get to put in the 1/2 as long as I counteract that with a 2 out here, because 2 times 1/2, see, those cancel. So as long as it's just a constant, the 1/2, so I can just multiply by the reciprocal in front of the integral, and that'll take care of it, okay? So you might want to stop the video, think about that a little bit, putting in the 2, putting in the 1/2. Why can we do that? We need the 1/2 because now all of this is going to be du, okay? So that's really important. All right. The other thing, phew, that was a lot. Okay, so think about that. The other thing is we want to deal with these a and b's, okay? Right now they're in terms of x, and we want them to be in terms of u. Now, the book talked about that a little bit. We'll probably talk about it in class. You could go back to x, but the thing is, once you've simplified it to be u, why not stay in that simpler format? The problem is, though, we've got to change the 4 and the 1. So how do we do that? Well, our b, okay, think about u equals 1 plus the square root of x, right? That's just coming from here. So our b is going to equal 1 plus the square root of 4. See, we're putting in the 4 for x. And 1 plus the square root of 4, that's going to be 1 plus 2, which is 3. And then our a is going to be 1 plus the square root of 1. Okay, so that's going in there. So we're putting in a 1 for x, and that's going to be 1 plus 1, which is 2. Okay, now we're ready to write the new integral then. So it's going to be 2, that 2 that we had in front, and then the integral, now our upper and lower limits changed, so 2 to 3, and then we're going to have 1 over u squared times du, okay? So this is my du, and then this little part in the parentheses, see how it's got that, and then the square there? That's the u right there. Okay, now I might want to rewrite that as u to the negative 2 du. And think about going 2 times, and then it's going to be u to the negative 2 plus 1 divided by, and remember to do that total, negative 1. And then I'm going from 2 to 3. Now, some notation here might help you because so you don't lose that factor of 2 that's in the front. Okay, Let's scroll up a little bit. All right, 2 times, and then we're going to have negative 1 over u from 3 to 2. So you might have to think about that a little bit. I didn't put that other bracket thing, but that's okay. Think about that exponent of negative 1, and that's going to put it in the denominator. So now I have 2 times negative 1 over 3 minus negative, let's see, what is that one? Negative 1. All right, I better keep that a little different. Okay. Negative 1 over 2. I guess I still wanted the brackets there. Okay, so what do we get from there? Oh shoot, sorry about that. Okay, 2, it's been a while since I've done videos, plus 1/2. So let's get a common denominator. That's going to be negative 2, 6 plus 3, 6, which is going to be 2 times 1, 6, which is going to be, drum roll, 1/3. Remember, this is a definite integral, so we're getting a value there, so 1/3. Okay.